Hello guys, kindly check this application out. When we say submit, it says country is required. Good, so let's select any country here. You can see all the countries. So we can just pick anyone. Let's pick Uganda and it says submit. It says country is Uganda. So that is that we select any other country, Togo, and submit. It says country is Togo. Good, let's develop this using React hook form. If you want to type along with me, kindly install the following. 1. npm install Tailwindcss forms, and 2. npm install React hook form. Now a quick one with a Tailwind form. Let's copy that, go to Google, then paste it, then check this out. Good. npm install, we've done that. So another one thing to do is what? Require. So we copy that to your tailwind.config file and paste it there. I also have a video to install React with Tailwind, so if you have issues installing, I got you. I'll link that in the description below. So with all said and done, let's begin. Thank you very much. Let's begin by creating two folders in our SRC folder. I'll call the first one assets, then call the second one components. Good. Now let's take the first one, assets. Now with this project, we have no spinners or images, so we leave it blank. We go to the second one, components. Let's create a file and call it select country. Good. .js. So that is that RAFCE. Instead of ordinary div, let's React the fragment. Okay, so inside that we can have our section. Good. Inside the section, now let's have a div that says hello. Let's link that to the app.js to view on the screen. So let's call select country. Yeah. Let's import it. Import select country from where? From components, then select country. So that is that. Let's check our screen if we got hello on the screen. Good, we got hello on the screen, means we're ready to go. So it's mobile first, so let's reposition everything. Great, so we're ready to begin. Let's take the div off, then create a form. So inside the form, let's have a div now and say class name bg white, width let's give it auto, height let's give it 96, then let's give it mx 5, then let's give it mt 20, then let's make it rounded lg. Okay, then what else? That is that for now. Now let's get the header. So we say header section. Let's create a div. So we say div. Inside there, that let's get a p tag. Then we say select country. Select country input. That's that. Let's give it a class name. Class name, let's say uppercase. Then what again? Font bold, then test for Excel. Good. Let's give it a height. We come to the div and give it a class name. Then say height 28. And let's make it center. So we say flex justify center. then what, item center. Good, let's give it a shadow. Good. So that is that. Our header section is ready. Now let's move to the body. So we say body section. So in our body section, let's create a div. Good. So inside this div, let's create two divs. One and two. One is going for select, and the second one is going to be the error. Okay, so that is that. Let's center it. So we say class name, let's give it grid, then justify center. Good. So let's take the first one, which is the select. So over here we say select. Good. Now inside the select we need option. Okay, so we say option. Inside that we need what? Select country. Good. So we say select what? Country. Good. So that is that. Last value equals empty. Okay, good. So now let's give it a class name. So to do that we say, let's move the select down and say class name equals width 96 rounded LG. Let's give it test 3 Excel. Okay, let's give it empty. Let's use the div. Okay, we can use the body div for empty 14. Let's add the button to it. So from here, the body section, we go to the next one, which is the button section. Submit BTN section. So over here, let's give it a div. Inside the div, so let's give it an input tag. So inside the input tag, let's call the type equals what? Submit. Then value equals submit. Then class name, let's give it width, let's give it 2 feet. Height, let's give it 10. Let's give it BG yellow 700. Test white. Then what else? Okay, rounded LG. Good. So that is that. Let's center it. So at the div, we can say give me class name equals flex justify center. Then what? Item center. So that is it. Let's give it empty 14. How about that? Cool. Good. So that is that. Now we're ready for the countries. So let's get the JSON file from Google. So we say list of countries JSON. Good. Then we go to country.json npm. Yeah. Shout out to Samayo. In fact, I came across this and I was very impressed. It has an npm for the country, but maybe another time we will try it out. But for now, let's use his file, which is the JSON file, country by name. So I'm going to copy all this file. So let's do that. Copy it. Good. Copy, then we go to our file. Let's make it bigger. Then go to, let's create the component section. Let's create another file and call it country data dot JSON. Okay, so that is that. Let's paste it there. So we have our data ready. So that is that. Let's go back to the select country. Let's call state, use state and use effect. Use state, comma, use effect. Good. So that is that. So next, let's create a state for the countries. We say const countries, comma, set countries into bracket equals to what? Use state, where is use state, good, into bracket. Let's create an empty array. So that is that. Now let's call use effect. We say use effect equals to a function. Good. Inside that function, that gives comma empty array here. Okay, sorry, empty array. Good, that's that. So inside the use effect, now we can have const data equals to require what? Let's call the JSON file. Good. So that is that. Let's check if we have the file. Okay, so let's console log it. So we say console.log data. Good. So let's check it out. So when we console log, good, we got data. So that is that. We got the data here. So cool. What do we do next? Let's connect the data to the state. So we say set countries into bracket data. Good. So that is that. Now let's call the countries in the options. Okay, so we go to the options. The default is the default option. Let's create another option. So we give a bracket, then we say, let me take this off. Then we say countries dot map to bracket should give us a function that will return what? Return the option. Okay, so we say option. Good. So that is that. So let's call the item. So inside the option here, we're gonna call our option is what? What's the name? Let's check the data. Country. Okay, good. Country. So it's gonna be item dot country. So that is that. Let's give it a key. So at the options, we can use key equals what? Sorry, bracket equals what? Item dot country. So that is that. Okay, let's check it out. So when we call country, we have our countries inside it. You can see, guys. Wow. So that is that. Good. So next thing to do now is to get ready for validation. So that is that. To begin validation, let's go back to Google, then call React hook form. Good. So inside the hook form, let's go to get started. npm install, we've done that already. So let's import. So we go to import, then can close this file and close this one too. Okay, then let's import it. Good. So that is that. Next one, what do? Let's go back and see. Is to handle events. So let's copy that and go back and say over here we say, let's see what, handle events. Let's paste that there. Go back. Next one is handle submit. Let's copy that too. Good. So let's say over here we say handle submit. So let's paste that there. It's console.log data. I want us to make it alert. We say alert into bracket JSON.stringify. JSON.stringify, yeah, into bracket data. So that is that. Oh, let's go to the form for the onSubmit. Copy that too. Then we say on form. Yeah, this is the form. We paste it there. It's on submit. So let's check our form out. So when we go back to screen and we check it out, we say submit alert on empty data. So that is that. Let's check the sample events. So let me click OK. Then let's go to sample events. There's it. Let's copy that. We copy that. Then we go to after the class name. Good. After the class name, select. We paste it there. So we say register. The name is going to be country. And required is true. Let's make it dynamic. So we say country. Country is what? Required. Good. So that is that. Let's go back and check the how to handle the error. We will copy that too. Then go to our error section. There's it. So just paste it there and edit it. Errors.country. Country and span. Let's make it dynamic and say errors.country dot message. Good. Let's check it out. So over here When we say submit, it says country is required. Let's add a class name to the country is required. So we go to the span and say class name, give us test sm, then make it test red 500. So let's check it out. So when we say submit, it says country is required. Now the focus is still blue. We want the focus also to change to red. So we go to the focus, then give it and make it dynamic. Okay, so over here we make the class name dynamic. Let's take the quote off, give it a bracket, then introduce the dynamic quote, which is at the bottom of escape. So we put that there. Then we bring our dollar and bracket. So inside that we say errors.country and give it a class name focus red, focus ring red, then border red. So that is that. Let's check it again. So when we say submit, it says country is required. So we select the country. Let's take any country. Then when we say submit, it says country is what? Afghanistan. Let's take another country. Then we say submit, it says country is Antarctica. So that is that, guys. Finally, let's make our app responsive, then we can say cheers. So let's go to the mother div here. Then we say at small screen, make the width full, and at medium screen, make the width 4/5. Then at same medium screen, make the MX auto. So at large screen, make the width 2/5. Then at same large screen, make the MX auto. So that is that. Let's check it out. So that is that, guys. Thank you so much for sticking through. Don't forget to do good. Catch you in the next one. We say peace.